In this introduction, I'm gonna share some recipes to help you get the most out of the Wolfram data drop if this then that channel, to be released soon. The following recipes should give you an idea of the Cambrian explosion of automation that comes when combining data drop with if this then that. IFT is a platform that makes it possible to create simple connections between everyday products and apps such as Instagram and data drop. All these products and apps are organized in channels. These channels usually have very specific triggers or actions. There are two types of recipes: do recipes and if recipes. Do recipes are used to manually run an action channel, and if recipes are used to connect a trigger channel with an action channel. Do recipes run with a single tap, letting you create your own personalized button, camera, and notepad. Two apps are available for iOS and Android. On the other hand, if recipes run in the background, creating connections with the statement if this then that. This is represented by the trigger channel, and that by the action channel. For example, if any new post in subreddit Mathematica, then add that post into a data bin. There are three different Do apps for your smartphone: Do Button, Do Camera, and Do Note. Now I'm gonna show you three Do recipes that I've created using the data drop action channel. For the Do Button app, I've created a recipe that sends the GPS latitude and longitude coordinates into a data bin. I've used the Wolfram language function create data bin to specify that I want my geolocation entries to be interpreted as location entities. This will also generate a data bin with a short ID. Use this ID in your recipe, save it, and you are ready to log your locations wherever you are with just one tap. Here is a particular example. Yesterday I went up to a hill and I wanted to know the distance and altitude from my home. So I geotagged the origin and the end. Now I just get back these values specifying that I just want the last two entries. With this information I can draw a red line between the origin and the top of the hill. I can also compute its distance or compute the elevation that I went through. For the Do Camera app, I created a similar recipe that saved my current location and the image URL into a photo bin. Because I didn't specify an interpreter for this data bin, I directly wrote geoposition in the ingredients field. So when I need the location in my code, I need to convert it first from a string to an expression. In this particular case, I show the location with a geomarker, and I use tooltip with import to display the image taken. Finally, for the Do Note app, I created a mood tracker. Here I specified that I want the values of my entries to be interpreted as numbers. The only ingredient used in this recipe is the note text that I will be inserting every time that I use this app. If I feel in a good mood, I'm gonna score it in a high value. So one can get some insights by showing the data in a date list plot or computing the mean mood value. No need to say that you can also choose to add your mood's value using data drop web form, but Do Note is way faster. Now let's take a look at the if recipes. I'm gonna start by showing how to create your own recipe using if this then that. First, you need to sign in to ifthisthenThat.com. Then you go to My Recipes, click Create a Recipe, and follow these 7 steps. For this example, we will choose the Instagram trigger channel. With this particular type of trigger, whenever a new photo by anyone in a specific area, then trigger this channel. In this particular case, the specific area is located in a zoo. Then we choose the Wolfram data drop as our action channel. We select the action at entry, and then we create a data bin that interprets the cities, names, and the date of the photo. To complete the action fields, we provide the ID and the following ingredients: the photo caption, photo's URL, the username, and the date when this photo was taken. Finally, we add a title to this if recipe. We choose not to receive notifications when this recipe runs, and we click in Create Recipe. Now we have a recipe feeding this data bin, but we can set up more recipes to feed the same data bin. Actually, this is what I've done for the largest zoos in the world. There is only San Diego Zoo missing. Let's make a recipe for it. We choose Instagram and we locate the trigger in San Diego Zoo. We adjust the center to cover the whole area. Then we provide the same short ID, use it in the other recipe. And finally, we provide the ingredients along with the city equals San Diego. Then we provide the title and we click on Create Recipe. Now that we have all the 8 recipes feeding a single data bin, we can take a look at the photographs submitted by the visitors. Here is a random sample of 30 photographs. If we are only interested in the animal photos, we can filter them using Image Identify. Notice that here I'm using a specific category to restrict the image identification to animals. I also use a high recognition threshold to ensure accurate results, and I also use a high specificity goal. Then I use key drop to remove results with a low specificity like animal, invertebrate, and mammal. These are images that have been taken today. We can also identify the languages spoken by the visitors using the language classifier function, or compute the cloud hashtags. We can also perform a sentiment analysis, or check that all these places in the recipes are really about pets and animals, travel, leisure, and family and friends. Now let's see an if recipe that connects Datadrop with the Internet of Things. I've recently acquired the Netatmo weather station, which has many different types of triggers available for if this then that. I've combined these two triggers. Noise level rises above or drops below a certain threshold to monitor the noise at home. Here is the recipe for when noise rises above 50 decibels. Again, I've used create data bin to specify that I want the noise values to be interpreted as decibels. We use the same ID for the other recipe that runs each time the noise level drops below 50 decibels. We take the entries of this data bin from yesterday to now, and we plot the values in a data list plot. Further insights about this data can be obtained through Wolfram Alpha. Overnight, the noise levels remain low. Thursday is, on average, the noisiest day of the week, and Sunday is the quietest. Let me end up with an example that shows how practical it is to use the Wolfram Datadrop channel to automate processes that otherwise will have involved a large number of repetitive tasks. In this particular case, I want to select certain Twitter programs. I could go one by one and copy its code into a notebook, or I could create a recipe that adds the code every time I like it, a program pin. Here is the last program, I like it. I use make expression to obtain the code in its standard form, and then I release hold the code to evaluate the expression and study the 3D object in detail. Now it's time for you to explore and make your own Datadrop recipes. There are more than 150 trigger channels that can be connected to Datadrop. Here I listed a few other recipes that I have created in the past. For example, using the iOS location channel, you can create this recipe. If I enter or exit my home, then add an entry to a data bin. Other recipes are, if new tweet by Wolfram Research, then add this tweet to a data bin. If new weight logged with my Fitbit area scale, then add this weight into a data bin. The last recipe is feeding a data bin with all the ideas that are being posted in community.wolfram.com. And I hope to see soon your favorite Datadrop recipes when this channel gets officially released. To help you get started, I've added some resources where you can find relevant trigger channels for Datadrop, like little bits, that will allow you to connect its electronic models directly into Datadrop.